In the Bible, the fall of man in the garden was really a catastrophic event that just changes the course of humanity. Romans 5:12 says that just as through one man's sin entered the world, and death through sin, and so death spread to all mankind because all sinned. So in our worldview, the sin of Adam and Eve led to spiritual death or separation from God, physical death, and number three, possibly eternal death. Those who are born again, to use the language of John 3, are born twice and only die once. But all those who reject Christ, who reject the gospel, are born once and die twice. So what really matters at the moment is being reconciled with God through Christ. What really matters is taking care of this spiritual separation that man has. In this way, the power of the gospel, the power of the cross of Jesus Christ, God says that he no longer counts people's sins against them in 2 Corinthians 5:19. Verse 21 gives us the gospel in a nutshell. It says that God made him who knew no sin to be sin on our behalf, that we might become the righteousness of God in him. Folks, that's good news. Yet, in contemporary Islam, sin is reduced to a mere mistake or a case of forgetfulness. In the Quran, Allah just simply forgives Adam and Eve, and the first couple are cast down to earth for a time of testing. Obviously, Islam acknowledges physical death, and it even refers to the day of judgment. But from a Quranic perspective, again, there's no mention of Allah walking in the garden with Adam and Eve, and there's no mention of any kind of spiritual separation. There's really no personal and intimate relationship with the Creator according to the Quran. At the heart of Islam is not to know Allah, but to submit to Him. This is somewhat evident in the name Islam, which means submission. In Orthodox Islam, Allah is distant and unknowable. He's so transcendent and far removed from his creation that there just can't be any type of meaningful relationship with him. One of the most influential theologians in Islamic history, Al-Ghazali, said that it was absolutely impossible to know Allah. So our Muslim friends are already quite comfortable with one of the effects of sin, and that is being spiritually separated from God. However, it's not uncommon to hear them say things like, Ramadan is a time for us to draw closer to Allah. I've heard this several times in the last few days, and I want to respond by saying that you can draw near to God. You can know Him personally, but you must deal with your sin problem.